Hey sis, hey, welcome to the Must Be the Mental podcast with Shaaree. This is the space where Black women come to heal, be seen, and stop suffering in silence. I'm Shaaree McCalpine, licensed therapist, speaker, and your mental health bestie. So grab your favorite beverage and let's talk about it. Hey y'all, hey, welcome back. It's the Must Be the Mental podcast with your bestie, Shaaree. And listen, y'all, go ahead and pour your wine, whatever beverage is in your cup, kick off your shoes, and let's get into it. You already know what time it is. And listen, today, we're talking about relationships. Not just the kind that make you text back all furiously with the finger texts, but we're talking about all the ships. Friendships, situationships, family ships, work ships. Child, some of y'all are emotionally attached to your job like it's your man, and I just can't get into this. But let's move on. When we talk about attachment, it isn't just the romantic style. It can be relational too. Let's start with this. Your attachment style isn't just how you show up in love, it's how you show up in life. If you're always the one checking in with your homegirls, texting good morning, sending cute reels and inspiration, being the hype girl, but then you look the next day, you don't have nothing in your inbox until you're the one that has to go ahead and do the cycle all over again. Boo, hello, that's anxious attachment. If your mama call and your whole chest get tight, but you answer the phone anyway, yep. That's avoidant tendencies dressed up as being respectful. If your boss sends that one-line email and your stomach drops and tightens up like the first time you got dumped, woo-wee, that's not just job anxiety. That's your inner child thinking you're in trouble. Remember that? Like when your mom called out your whole name, or when the principal called you to the office and everybody was like, ooh, listen, same thing. Let's break this down even more. Let's talk about anxious attachment. That's where you're always over explaining yourself. You know, the response like, oh, does that make sense? Are you getting me? You know, you check in constantly. You feel responsible for how other people feel. You're out here putting on a whole emotional tap dance just to feel loved. The avoidant attachment, man, you shut down. Your feelings get hurt. You don't express your needs, and you convince yourself that you don't care, even when you're deeply hurt. You isolate, and then you wonder why you feel alone. And then we got the disorganized attachment. Baby, that's when you crave closeness but fear it, right? You sabotage the thing you want the most just to avoid the pain you think or you already have in your back pocket that is coming anyway. Sis, can we talk about how you learned to be loyal to dysfunction? Let me say that again. That's crazy, right? That's wild. Being loyal to dysfunction. I could do a whole episode on that. Probably will once I invite a guest because I think we need a back and forth with that. But being loyal to dysfunction means you stay somewhere, not because it's good for you or to you, but because it feels familiar. It's your comfort zone, even when it's causing you chaos and pain. You have learned to equate love with struggle, attention with inconsistency, and care with control. So when peace shows up, you do not trust it. You are always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And we normalize this stuff, right? We laugh about it. We call it loyalty. People say this is just how I am. But baby, dysfunction don't deserve your loyalty. It's not a badge of honor. That's a wound that hasn't been healed and never got a chance to heal. If we go deeper into it and we talk about it, that's the friend who gaslights you, but you defend her because you go way back. We've been friends for 30 years. That's loyalty to dysfunction. The cousin who always brings drama to every gathering, But you still invite them because what? That's family. That's loyalty to dysfunction. That job that makes you question your worth every single day. But you keep grinding, you keep going because you don't want to be seen as weak. Yep, you guessed it, dysfunction. It's time we say, I choose peace over pattern. Baby, that's a word in itself. I choose peace over pattern. Say it with me. Convenient ain't the same as consistent. And let me be clear, choosing you doesn't mean you're selfish. It makes you feel safe. Same with family. Yep, even blood. Listen, just because they hold a title, cousin, mama, daddy, sister, uncle, whatever the case is, doesn't give them a free pass to disrespect you, guilt trip you, consistently need you, or even try to make you feel small for the accomplishments that you made. You don't have to put up with that just because it's family. That ain't family, sis. That's a trigger. And we releasing that nonsense today. And that workship, whew, girl, that's a whole nother issue. How we keep doing the same pattern on the same hamster wheel, um, feeling like you have to perform because we've been taught, if you black, you got to be better than they are. If you don't do the work, it's going to look like you're lazy. You have to keep grinding. Baby, listen, if you can't log off your computer without feeling like you're disappointing somebody, if you can't take a break, if you don't take your lunch hour, if there's always a running to-do list in your head that you feel like you have to get accomplished, that's not being on the hustle. That's you falling into the mindset of this new soundbite culture that says you need to work until you're exhausted. You already put in hours to your 9 to 5. Now you have to work on your dream. And now you're exhausted. You don't know where your next thought is coming from. And you just want to chill. Baby, you ain't in the hustle culture. You are still in survival mode. You are not productive. You are not your last task. Your worth is definitely not tied into how busy you are. Now, we said a lot in that last little segment, but let's take a quick minute to breathe, right? Let's do a 3 count. Put your hand on your heart. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And inhale and exhale. The truth is, a lot of how we show up in these ships come from your little you. Yeah, her. You can see her. You see her right now. You see her trying to perform her way into being worthy, into being valued, into being loved. Little you still remembers being left on the proverbial red by caregivers, friends, teachers, anyone who was close to her that didn't know how to show her love. Now here we are at this big old age, and we're still chasing closeness and connection like it's oxygen. Let me tell you something. If love, attention, or peace always feels like a damn fight, maybe it's time to ask, who taught you to love and that it had to be earned? Because we believe love has to be earned, we overfunction. We overplay our part. We do too much for other people. We become the fixer, the nurturer, the strong one, the dependable one. And inside, we depleted, resentful, angry, and upset. Listen, let's break that agreement today. And in this place, let's build something new where love feels like safety, where your softness is protected, and where little you finally exhales. Because guess what? Big you came back for. And you showing up for. Little you is so proud. Trust me. When we talk about it, healing looks like boundaries and peace. And no, you cannot be nobody else's peace. You have to be peace in yourself, and you have to decide what boundaries look like so that you can gain that peace. It's the saying no for me to end the conversation, not asking questions like, oh, well, maybe what is it that you need it for, and deciding if it's important enough for you to give that maybe or that yes. Let your no stand still and end the conversation. It's the saying, I can't talk right now without having guilt behind it. It's letting the text sit there unread because you are tired and can't handle anything else. Even if you just want to sit in your room, watch some reruns, Netflix, and chill, that's for you. You don't owe the explanation behind it. It's realizing that being quiet doesn't mean you're disconnected. It means you're getting yourself regulated. It means that you are practicing self-care and self-love. Let me tell y'all something real quick. It's so important to understand what your needs are. And you only can do that by studying you. One of my clients one day told me, hey, Shar, I feel so guilty when I don't answer my mama's calls. Even when I'm overwhelmed, even when I have a bunch of work to do, even when I just don't feel like the drama. What do I do? You know me, I'll walk you down this path, but I'll hold your hand and tell you the truth. That's guilt. That's not connection. That's the guilt from when you were little and you didn't know what else to do. But baby, big you knows you need rest, knows that you need protection, knows that you don't have time to perform. Big you understands that respect isn't pretending. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors with locks. And guess what? You hold the key. That includes your friends, your family, and surprise, your job. Especially these jobs and relationships can get to be so toxic. You are not obligated to keep proving your worth, not at work, not at home, not in love. The most powerful thing you can do sometimes is step back, sit down, and be quiet. Protect your peace like it's sacred, because you know what? It definitely is. And sis, listen, while we're talking and walking this thing down, listen up. You don't have to chase love. Let me say that again. You don't have to chase love. You don't have to perform for connection. You don't owe loyalty to pain. Say it with me. Say it out loud. I am safe to be loved without shrinking. I attract what feels like peace. I deserve softness and support. And that's on period. Do we still say and that's on period? Or do we just say period? Or do we say period poo? Anyway, y'all get the point. Period. Friendships, family ships, love ships. What these ships should do is pour into you, not drown you. So listen, we've been talking for a minute. Here's your homework. Pay attention this week to how your body feels around people. Not just what they say, but how you feel and how they take your feelings into consideration. Are your feelings validated? Are you afraid to speak because of possible confrontation? Is your chest tight? Are you drained after a convo? Do you feel the energy shifting? Are you avoiding their call? Baby, your body knows. Your nervous system been clocking what your heart keep excusing. You heard it right. Your nervous system knows what's going on, but you let your heart keep excusing people's poor behavior towards you. because you value and you crave that connection and that quote unquote love. You have to be careful of what you give your attention to. This week, pick you. Choose ease, choose self love, choose freedom. And if nobody told you today, you are not hard to love. What you are is around people who are not invested enough to hear how you need to be loved. And listen, bestie, I've been there. Trust. It can be such a grieving process when you have to remove connections. It shows up in loneliness, it shows up in memories, it shows up in thoughts, and it shows up in your wondering why. But it does not matter. Remember that these connections, these people, they're not bad people. They just aren't people that you need in this new space of growth. And that's not a loss, that's a release. And check it. Healing always makes room for the better. All right, besties, listen. Here's your sound off challenge for the week. Post or share one aha moment from this episode. It could be a quote, a vibe, a truth you needed, or maybe a boundary you just realized you need to set up. Use the hashtag must be the mental, and tag me at Shaaree so I can hype you up and repost it. Let's keep this conversation going and make healing out loud. Okay. We're doing the work, but we are doing it and keeping it cute. Until next time, this is Shar, your mental health bestie, saying, do the work, keep it cute, and be gentle with yourself. And remember, it must be the mental. Go ahead and like and share, and I'll talk to you all in a little. Peace out. It must be the mental. Bye.